So hi, welcome to Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with
Jay from Vienna Vienna.
All right, some questions today about his upcoming EP, Wonderland. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the announcement so far?
I feel really, really good. It's been really cool to see the excitement. I just dropped a single called Everything's Fine. It's the first track on the EP, and I don't know. People seem to be digging it. I feel great. I'm excited to get the music out, so feels good. Feels really good.
Hell yeah.
Wonderful.
The responses seemed awesome. I was scrolling through your Instagram before this, and I saw the announcement video with Pete, and it seemed like people were fucking amped. So that's good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm amped. I'm definitely amped.
Hell yeah.
As you should be. It's incredible.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I really appreciate that.
Of course. Gotta ask, how that connection came about with Pete and signing to his label and all of that fun stuff, because it's very exciting.
Dude, 100%. So I mean, it feels crazy, but I moved to LA and I had this like collection of songs, and I was like still working out the totality of the project. I mean, I had the concept all figured out, and I was just playing just an unfathomable amount of shows out here, just as many as I could, whatever I could take. And then I guess we just got a call and said Pete knew somebody who was at a show or something, and he came out and was like, hey, we should hang, and we chatted. And then a few months later, it was history. He was like, let's go hang out with Pulse, and here we are. Big ups to Pete. Love that guy.
Damn.
Shout out,
Pete.
Fuck yeah.
Damn right. So is there any meaning behind the EP title or cover art?
Yeah, so Wonderland it's a couple things, but I think in large part it symbolizes like a place of self-actualization. I mean, it's represented a few things over the course of like my conceptualizing it. I think I knew I wanted to design kind of like a world. I play a lot of D&D, and it's a totally different thing, but I love world building, and so I felt like I needed a world for the music to live in, and that's kind of Wonderland. I mean, it was like, at first I was like, okay, so it's gonna be like this like idea of like the world you build in your head, to kind of protect you, and then it became a much larger thing where it's like the place you go where it doesn't really matter anymore, and it's perfect, but it's almost like too perfect, and then it's evolved over the years, but I think in large that's it. It's a world that I built for the songs to live in, for for me to dream about, I suppose.
Hell yeah. And any meaning behind the cover art?
Yeah, it's just me and myself and I and my buddy me, and then my other buddy me, and then my good friend me.
Yeah.
We're all hanging out in a beautiful field.
Yeah.
Out in Wonderland.
Yeah. There you go. Hell yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for the EP?
Yeah. A lot of the songs tended to come about very quickly, like I tend to focus on flow state when I'm writing, so like I'll get a lot of like the instrumental stuff came first, like a lot of the guitar parts I was kind of writing and curating, but I also work lyrically very heavily, so it was like quips or things I'd written down on like, whatever paper was near, or like my notes app. And I kind of just built it out from there. I worked, it was kind of conceptual too. I had the idea of building a world, and then Wonderland came about, and I was like, oh shit, well, this gives me like a space to dance around in a little bit and to play with. Like, I know how I want things to feel visually. I can like see myself in it, and now it's just going to be curating that experience. I was listening to, like a lot of 90s, like second wave emo stuff, like Promise Ring and Sunny Day, and like the new emo stuff too. I was listening to, not that it's like an emo record, it's definitely not, but I was listening to so much like Origami Angel, and like that's just where my head was at the time, and it definitely played a part in my guitar work. So much like stroke stuff too, just like I was like, they're great. It's a great headphones band. You're just like, you really feel it, and I wanted to curate that too.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah.
Glad to hear you bring up Gami because, like,
Great.
when you talk about Somewhere City, like definition of world building, right there.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Right. Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
take me to Somewhere City. How do I get there?
Damn.
Absolutely.
Where's the train
Right?
ticket? What? Where do I start? I could go Vine. Do I go? How do
So
I?
I'm trying to get there.
I think we're all trying to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. 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 So, what song off the EP took longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
Ooh. Longest to write. Probably One More Last Time. You know, it was very like meditative and like I was really taking my time and being very patient with every single line. Um, I don't know. I don't want to say that I was picky, but I was specific and it was cool and it was a very emotional experience. I'm sorry. What was the follow up there? It was
Your favorite?
oh my favorite. Oh shit. Honestly, probably everything's fine. Probably Vienna.
Mm-hmm.
It just feels good. Like it feels
Yeah.
alive and playing it like oh god, playing it at the shows has been fucking magic. Like it just feels so fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can't get enough of playing that song. Just
Mm-hmm.
all the time. It's so good. I'm
Yeah.
so proud of it. I'm really so proud and so thankful for that song.
Yeah.
You know, as I was creating it, I just felt like it was right, you know. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Hell yeah.
Wonderful.
I'm curious about like bookends of like when the writing process started for you, like date wise, month, year, and when the EP kind of finished up, wrapped up with like masters in hand.
3 years, I think.
Ah, damn.
Just I don't know, I was working I mean like the songs came about quick, but actually like picking the right ones. I'm writing a lot, just all the time. Probably every day something's happening and then I'm, you know, looking at it and absorbing it and putting it into like a box in my head of like, oh, this could be good, but maybe for like a different project and organizing things. And so like right after COVID, like I was just, I mean, coming out of COVID, I was writing a lot and I had a lot of these plays on cliche, you know, like existing cliche, you tweak it and you like morph it into something new. Yeah, so it's probably been 2.5, 3 years now, which is really cool to get it out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So with that being said, do you still like resonate with what you're talking about and what you're saying within these songs because like you've been working on this body of work in some capacity for 2 to 3 years?
I think it's definitely like a bit of a time capsule for me, which is really cool. Like I get to like, I'm like fascinated by, I've always been this way, but like a coming of age movie is like, it always hits. You're like, I feel it. And I was looking around at my life and I was like, I think I'm doing it now. I think I'm becoming like, and I wanted to make sure that I captured that because it felt like a special time in my life. I was like just getting into college and feeling very grounded and very connected to myself, but also like I had no fucking idea what I was doing and
Yeah.
you know, being like loose and playful in my life and kind of unafraid. So it's definitely a bit of a time capsule for me.
That's
Captures
good.
like a time that, you know, I did it. I lived it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that kind of your goal with your music, or was it just like because of how long this took, it just so happened to kind of become a time capsule for you?
I don't know. I think that's probably just how it's gonna all feel, you know, 3 years later after, you know, getting the songs done. But you know, it wasn't like I wrote it and then I waited 3 years. Like
Yeah.
I was editing constantly too. Like some of these first drafts of these songs are completely different.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't want to say I wasn't satisfied, but I feel like when I'm making music, it's not really done until I put a stop to it. Like I could probably still dig back into those sessions and get more stuff done.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I've put in a lot and it feels ready to share. You know, there's like that Rick Rubin thing too, where it's like write and write and write and write and write. And eventually you'll look and be like, yeah, I think we're good. I think I can show people.
Yeah.
And that was part of this too.
Gotcha. That makes sense. So for this question, I want you to pick your favorite lyric off the EP and tell us the meaning behind it.
Oh God. Oh my God, this feels like it's a hard question for everybody.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
one is normally the
Jesus.
one where it's like you gave me this with no prep, like you didn't tell anybody
Mhm.
you were asking me this. Yeah, we like doing that.
I bite back at the hand where the help is.
That's a banger.
Damn.
Um, yeah, I think it's hard to accept help, you know?
Mhm.
It's like hard to accept that people care about you almost.
Yeah.
You know, it actually makes me think back. I feel it. I don't know, a friend was like, a lot of that song was a conversation I had with a friend where they were like, you're not being like a better friend by not telling me that you're struggling. Like, I care about you and I want to know. And I was like, fuck, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really cut me deep. And I think that was part of it, is like, I had to accept that people cared about me and not push away from that, and like find out that, you know, part of being afraid of that was realizing that I wasn't caring about myself as much as I should have. I learned a lot. And so that's kind of where that comes from, is like, man, shit. There's a lot of love, and I gotta give it to myself too, you know?
Yeah,
Damn right.
absolutely.
Yeah. So would you be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating this EP? I know it's a 2 to 3 year long process, but you know, if you could kind of
Dude, I don't
summarize it.
know. I was a mess when I was writing a lot of
Aw.
these. Which is why I think they came about, you know? Like, writing is definitely a part of like the therapeutic experience for me. It's a really great way to get my feelings into words in a way that is like successful. It's a way to complete a full thought, you know, that I haven't always been able to nail. But so I mean, I think I was just figuring it out, you know, like who I was, who I wanted to be, like undergoing the process, and I'll probably always be doing this, but undergoing the process of like self-actualization. Who am I? You know, how do I be that totally and completely and unabashedly? I think that was where my head was at. I just was figuring out me, and I was afraid to, but excited about it. And I think that all kind of shows through the EP too.
Yeah, yeah. Figuring yourself out and using the music as a vessel to do that.
It's a great tool in my life that has really, it's done a lot for me. I'm very grateful to music.
Absolutely.
I know that sounds obvious, but I am very, very thankful that music is a part of my life. I don't know what I'd do without it.
Yeah, I think
right.
all of us in this call, you know, kind of feel
Oh my
similarly.
god.
Yeah,
Yes.
big part of my life.
Yes, massive part. I don't know where the fuck I'd be without it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you recommend your fans to listen to this EP for the first time? Should do in the car with friends, dark with headphones on? Is workout EP, party EP? What do you personally recommend?
Damn. Headphones. Start in your headphones. Take a walk. Take a
Oh,
walk.
Yeah.
Maybe a little J. Have a little J. Take a walk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. See where it goes.
Yeah.
See where it goes. Yeah.
See where it
Sounds
takes
good.
you.
Yeah. See where it takes you. See how you feel. But I think it's great in the car too. I'm such a headphones listener, especially when I'm like working on songs too. Like all the time, I'm like, okay, no, we got to do that. It needs to be over here, and then like I like to play with that pan knob. You know, everything's somewhere.
Yeah.
And so it's cool to get that like up close experience. And I wanted like, especially the vocal performances, to feel very intimate, you know, like it was kind of like right up there with you. And I think headphones gives you that too. So yeah.
Hell yeah. Love
Solid.
it.
Wonderful. So this one should be super, super quick off the top of your head. I want you to describe this EP for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Vibrant,
Okay. Ooh.
dirty,
Okay.
glimmering.
Glimmering. Aw.
Those
I
are
love
good.
that.
Hell yeah.
Perfect.
Vibrant, dirty, glimmering.
Hell yeah. And in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the EP?
I think it's I've definitely said this before, but it's about catharsis. You know, it's about that emotional release, and I think that's what music does for me. And so I hope that it can spread out there too. I think that cathartic release, that's what I'm hoping for.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Love it.
All right. And are you able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments during the creation of this EP, positive or negative?
The act of like self-observation is interesting. I feel like we're doing it a lot, like in society. We're always like taking pictures and posting them and looking at ourselves. And digging in and like looking at your feelings is fascinating too. You know, because after you make something and you're like, okay, I think it's done, and then you're listening back, you're like, I feel like I've gotten a much bigger picture of myself. And that is always hard, you know, but always rewarding and invigorating. And so that was challenging, but worth it, 100% worth it. I mean, there's nothing like when you know you have it. That's like probably the best part. Like when you know you have the right word to describe what you're feeling, or the right part, and you're listening, and you're like, yeah, I got that. I did it. Yeah. That's exactly what I wanted to say. That's exactly how I wanted to present that. That is probably the most rewarding feeling in the world. You know, like putting in all that time and like receiving that back is like, oh yes, like I set out what I wanted. I set out with what I wanted to do, and I did it, and I'm very proud of that.
Oh yeah.
Very proud.
Fuck yeah.
Love it.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah. So for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour, you're at a gas station for a rest stop. What is your snack of choice?
I think we're going the donuts. We're going the chocolate covered donuts. I'm grabbing a light blue Gatorade. I need that light blue Gatorade. I need those electrolytes. I'm probably gonna slam some trail mix.
Oh fuck yeah.
Trail mix is key. And that's it, I think. I think that's it. I think those are my picks.
Yeah, that's solid as fuck. Yeah.
I need the nutrients. A little trail mix, a little Gatorade.
Exactly.
And top it off with a
The
little
little
dessert.
donuts. Yeah, little donuts.
Yeah, that's a little treat.
Those cancel out.
And they're shareable.
Yeah.
See, who wants one? You know, it's fun.
Exactly. Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody. You buy them and everybody wants one.
Yeah.
Exactly. Can't pass them up.
Can't pass it out. I mean, come on.
Come on. And on the topic of food, if your music project was a dish, what dish would it be and why?
I think it's the Shin Ramen. I think
Shin
it hits.
Black or the regular?
I like the Shin Black.
That's my
I
favorite
think
as well.
that-
Good pick.
And it feels good. It's like it's full flavor. It's full flavor.
Exactly. Yeah. Super fucking spicy too.
Yeah. I think that's part of it.
Wonderful. I fucking love it.
Oh yeah. For the last couple questions, we're going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
These are great questions.
Thank you.
These are great
Thank
questions.
you.
I'm gonna go for cookie dough ice cream, the Tillamook specifically, and I'm gonna follow it up with cinnamon latte, hot.
Ooh.
Nice. Ice cream for your last meal. I like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah, I'm sensing a sweet tooth.
Yeah, you could say.
Maybe. And if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
I think I'd like to see what the futuristic world of Her looks like.
Oh,
You know,
fuck yeah.
I just want a perfectly walkable Los Angeles. You know?
Yeah.
That's a
I'm
dream.
talking
That's
about.
fictional.
There you go.
Even just for a week, I'll take what I can get.
Exactly.
I mean,
Come on.
fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've not asked the last question. Every single person I've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What's your favorite color?
Going for red.
Specific shade of
Solid
red?
fucking pick.
Yeah. Like that like bright or that like Sonic red that you get on like those Fender honestly on the Duosonic. That I think it's Fiesta red they call it, but it's like orangey red thing. I love it. I just love it.
Damn right.
Oh yeah. All right. So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Yeah, I'm going on tour with Valley pretty soon, which is really cool. We're going to Canada. We're going to be in Moncton, Halifax, Charlottetown. Let me check. Too many cities to memorize. But
That's a good problem.
We're going to Montreal, Quebec, Charlottetown, Moncton, and Halifax, and we'll see you there. Very excited about that. EP's obviously coming out. Single is out now. It's called Everything's Fine. Go give it a listen. My Instagram is @Vienna Vienna if you want to follow and join the team. And yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah.
it.
All right. Well, thank you for sound. It's been Vienna Vienna, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.